Hello to all my claytastic friends. It's Christina from Clay Amazing Artworks, Southern California. Got three just quick little things that I'm doing right now that I wanted to tape and show you guys how I do them. You can do them any way you want. One of them is going to be a plate that I use the pinstriping tape on. And another one is going to be how I get my glaze into an extremely textured, chattered bowl without missing spots, or holidays as the painters call them. And then I will tape this plate for you and show you how I do it. Then my sister had ordered a pasta bowl, I guess I would call it. It's pretty big. And she wanted this yellow that I had I made in my last kiln opening, which turned out to be a pale yellow because I had mixed it with the satin clear. And this is the Amico yellow satin matte that I had used. On the back I had used honey flux, which is kind of pink. I can still see the pink on here. But anyway, I decided I'm going to do it in the Harvest Gold from the 60s, 70s. That seems to be coming back. That's how old I am. This is called Lemon Meringue. It's by Mako. I love it. It makes it model colored. Almost, the more layers you put on it, you get a white. The thicker it is. This is just a little tryout spoon rest. So I'm going to do a big bowl for her. We'll see how she likes it. And I had, my last video I showed you I had made this sample bowl plate. Most of these on the inside is my Celadons, and on the outside are my Amico satin mats. I'm going to do that plate with the pinstriping tape in this teal right here. But that teal seems to be a little blotty. So everything on this plate has 3 coats. So I'm going to put 4 coats on the plate, and we'll see how it does. Okay. On the inside of the plate. On the back side of the plate, I did 3 coats already. I prepped everything, so nobody needs to see my face. So let's put you down here, show you what I'm doing. Okay, so everything's been wiped down with a nice damp sponge. I have several different sizes in these pinstriping tapes. You know, I think this is all the way from a 1/2 inch to an 1/8 of an inch. Right there. Pretty skinny. So anyway, I used 3 different widths on this plate. Now, I put this tape on this plate probably 3 weeks ago, and it's still on this plate. It's still pretty stuck. Now, when I put the glaze on it, we'll see if it stays stuck. It's all an experiment. So, here's my tape. I already have it all pulled out, taped to my bench. I just kind of just wing it down, make sure not to stretch it too much so we don't get any wrinkles in it. On this edge, you can see I have Mr. Wax, or Mr. Marks. What is that called? It's right here. Wax on, Mr. Marks, wax on, wax resist. So I applied it to the edges of this plate, and all I used was a cheap little sponge, you know, those little sponge brushes. I had put it on, I think I put it on my banding wheel and just went around because I want the plate edge to be clean. Okay, make sure this is in. Okay, so I've got Here's the 1/8. And do what you want. Who cares if it's not perfect? Actually, you have maybe 2 times to get it straight. Like that one was a little bowed in the middle. And then another one. I know. I can't talk when I'm working. I also stop breathing when I'm putting on my makeup. Okay, so then we're going to go this way. Make sure that starts to stick. Okay. That looks good. I would cut these ends off because they're going to start sticking to your table. Then they start pulling off and it gets to be a mess. Okay. We got that going. Well, I'll tell you what, it sticks to my fingers really well. And we have, let's put this one on this side. It'll show off. I don't know if this is sticking as well. I had it cut and taped to my edge of my workbench, so maybe it's just not as sticky. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, okay, got that. That, one more, and then we're done with that. Try not to stretch. Lay it down, and you got it. Okay, press it really hard. Okay, we've got this. So I've got this other one already started for you. Right here. This is the one that we've had done for a while. Just want to make sure the tape is on there. This is the one I'm going to do until everything's been stirred. Go over this tape first, lightly, because the moisture can lift that tape. And make sure you've got it thick enough that when it dries, it holds it down. Okay? Make sure you go in the direction that the tape is laying, as not to lift the tape. And then you can go in there and start to glaze it. Now I've already got the back of this done with 4 coats on the back. Like I said, it was kind of blotchy on that test plate, so I don't want it to be blotchy. If it's going to be blotchy, let it be blotchy on the back, not the front. So we'll get 4 coats on this off camera, and then we'll see what it looks like on my next kiln opening, which should be shortly, because I think I have enough to fill the kiln. It's expensive to do a kiln firing here in San Diego. It's ridiculous. It's about $30. So I want to make sure my 28-inch by 18-inch deep kiln is completely full. I love having my big kiln. I can make big objects. Unfortunately, it takes a lot to fill it. Okay, I would consider that. I'm a heavy glazer. but I would consider that 1.5. Let's do 1. I would consider that 1 coat. Okay, so while that's drying, you know how to put other coats on. That's fine. That's okay. Now, on this bowl that I have for my sister, it is a large bowl. I believe it's 4.5 inches deep and 15 inches across. It's actually made with the GR Pottery Forms. This is the OG, I believe it's the 9.5 RD pottery form. It has a very low profile. And then there's a 14-inch OG, which has a 45-degree angle form. And then this is just a 15-inch bat that I use to make the template for the rim. Okay, there's already 4 coats of glaze on this bowl, and since the bowl is so huge, I'm not going to take forever. I've got this nice big hockey. I don't know. Is that a hockey brush? I think. Yeah. It doesn't fit. Oh well. Well, if it doesn't fit, then I'm going to have to use this big old fluffy, what size is this? Number 12? Yes, it's a number 12. Big old, nice big brush. So I wanted to have that marbleization. Now, since the edges are going to get double glaze, I have a feeling we'll get a nice white line on the edge. So you can see none of this glaze is dragging. I glaze heavy. Unless I want it to look kind of stripy. And I don't mind putting, if I want to make it look stripy, then I'll use less layers. But I don't mind even putting an extra coat inside the bowl, as long as it doesn't crawl. Okay. And it's still pretty wet because there's been 4 coats put on the outside. So I will just put this 1 coat on. I'll wait for it to dry for an hour because it is pretty wet. And then I'll wait a good day for it to dry before I put it in the kiln. Or I also can put a little candle or a pre-warm-up on the kiln. Okay, now I want to make sure I got the edge and I have no drips coming off of the sides. Now on the back, I did put 4 coats. The 3rd coat, I did about a ½ inch from this rim. For the 4th coat, only because this satin matte or this lemon meringue is extremely stable, but you never know. So probably from there to there, I went ahead and put the 4th coat. Okay, so you all know how to glaze, and it's already starting to dry. So then here we go with this chattered bowl. The chattered bowl, I always use celadons on them because I like to see all the texture. So on this bowl, I've decided to custom make a color. I had a little bit of smoke left, celadon from Amico, which is C3 smoke. So I had a little bit of the deep sea celadon and clear. So I use 1/4 smoke, 1/4, well, equal parts, let's say, of smoke, deep sea, and doubled with the clear. Because I want it to be very translucent. So, first place I'm going to practice is right here on the back. I have a little bit of water. I'd say that's about, I don't know, 1/4 cup maybe? Yeah, I'd say 1/4 cup. Let me move this. 1/4 cup. Now this first quote, this first coat is going to be absorbed quickly. Okay, so I'm going to use probably 1 part water and 3 parts smoke, or let's say the custom color. Let's mix this up. I don't know. That looks like a lot. Let me pour a little bit. It went right to the bottom, so let me pour some of this water off. Okay, that looks better. And the first place I am going to practice is right at the bottom where nobody sees it. So we'll stir this up.
I just come check on you. You okay?
Edward, I'm taping, baby.
What?
I'm taping.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. He came to check to make sure nobody's killed me. I wouldn't be married to me. I'd kill me. Okay, so anyway, let's mix this up. Okay, can you see how watery that is? Okay, let's check it right here on this bottle. Oh, looks good. It's going right into the creases. I usually don't wax anything off. I just kind of cut it in. That's how I paint my house too. Now I'll be real careful with the first and the second coat. Third coat, I don't have to get to the edge. But that looks pretty good. So then it comes to here. Ooh, you really got to load it up to get it into that texture, I can tell. But you can see how watery it is. But it's going into the texture well. Okay, I'll do this later off camera. But here's a suggestion. When you water down your glaze and you use it for your first coat, make sure you always stir it because it's going to separate fast because there's so much water in it. And when you go to put on your second coat, use a clean brush. You're going to find if you don't, you're going to have too much water in this brush and your glaze is going to turn out streaky. Because I'm a heavy glazer, like I said, and if I'm not careful, I've had my celadons turn out streaky. I will put 4 coats of celadon on here. Boy, this, and I'm not kidding, stir it every time you dip your brush in there because I can already tell that it has settled. And that's what we're going to do. I should get the stuff in here. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to make another video before Thanksgiving. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, I'm working a salon. And that's one of our busiest times of the year. Not only that, my sister's taken us on a cruise because she loves me. If I knew she was going to be so kind to me when we got older, I would have been nicer to her when I was a kid. Okay, that's all in there. Just make sure you double check that there aren't any bare spots. It's hard to tell on this clay, but this is also Aardvark B-Mix with speckles. I haven't done a chatter with B-Mix with speckles, but we'll see how it looks. And this color, which is the Deep Sea, Smoke, and Clear. And we'll see what color it comes out. And I think that's about it. I hope it wasn't too long. You weren't too bored. Okay, I'm going to try to get this in as soon as possible so I can get this tape done, this video done before I go on vacation. It'll be my last vacation of my life. I'm poor. Okay, anyway, I thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. And we'll see what colors my custom colors from my maroon and olive come. I made them with the celadons. We'll put those in the kiln too, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you for joining me.